So yes, I'm Manish. I'm here to talk about how do we provide you real-time middle mile visibility with your CDN behavior. So can you help me understand, do you guys use Cloud Monitor or heard about Cloud Monitor or use LDS to extract any logs from our system? Anyone? Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let me start the whole presentation here with a question to you. When it comes to CDN, Akamai CDN, in terms of performance, measuring the performance or the user experience, what's your answer? What you will be filling in the blank here, what's your answer? Any thoughts? Okay. Yeah, so that's what we have been hearing from our customers is, hey, how do I measure the performance of my CDN? It's a black box to me. It's a commonly used word. How do I measure the impact of my customer experience because of the performance of the CDN? And we took it very seriously, and that's what we thought is, hey, how do we go ahead and solve these problems? What are the use cases? What are the pain points our customers had? And few things which you realized is, give me the real-time data to have the health of my system. How go ahead and define that I made a recent deployment, maybe a config change, or maybe a new app deployment, and how do I go ahead and measure whether it's the right deployment impacting my customers, or is it good, is it bad? How do I go ahead and measure in real time? So that's one of the fundamental problems we want to solve. Going forward, we wanted to see is, most of you stream the logs with an existing system out of Akamai. One of the challenges we have, or our customers have, is aggregation. Take an example, is CDN offload rate. How do you go ahead and do that? Right? With the logs, you go ahead and do some calculation and measure that. How about if we provide all these benefits or these aggregated matrices out of the box so that you can quickly measure the performance of your CDN? How is it behaving? Just an example, CDN offload rate. How is my edge response times looking like? The origin response time looking like? If you get all these aggregated matrices, I assume that would really help customers. Moving on, wanted to talk about data on demand. If you have been using Cloud Monitor, it's a fire hose. You cannot control it once it's open, right? It just keeps pumping the data. So in a scenario where you made a deployment and you want to turn on the system for a specific instance, maybe I turn it on once in a day, or maybe before a deployment and after a deployment to measure how the performance is happening. How do I go ahead and do that? How do we make the data on demand rather than just opening the fire hose? How can we make the data on demand to you available? And then we wanted to think about is providing you 100% visibility into your logs. How do we provide you all the access logs based on the customer request which you have? And then certainly the last one is, you may be streaming logs. One feed can be for your operations team. The second feed can be for any other persona in your organization who may be interested in looking at how the performance or the logs look like, right? Because they contain tons of information. So how do you segregate those logs to specific personas, right? So these are the few problem statements we wanted to solve. And that's where we want to introduce you to DataStream. It's a new product which we are building on. It's right now in beta, which fundamentally solves all these particular problems. It's one-shop solution for us to provide you real-time visibility into the middle mile, which is the CDN behavior, using which you can pull out all those aggregated matrices I spoke about. Example, CDN offload rate, your traffic volumes, your status code like 5xx errors, 4xx errors, edge response time, origin response time, and so on. And making it very seamless to access the data. You can use push mechanism. So if you're using tools like Splunk or Sumo Logic, you can seamlessly push the data to Splunk or Sumo Logic. Or in case you're using other mechanisms, you can seamlessly pull the data from our system using the pull APIs, which are being available to you. And then wanted to solve another problem here is, how do we give a granular control for you? Is the log lines, if you have seen them, they contain tons of data. Now, how do we give you the power to control what you want and what you don't want? Example, I'm interested only in the IP address, status code, and the bytes. I'm not interested into any other matrices which is coming out from the log lines. So how do you go ahead and filter that? So those are the few benefits you'll have with DataStream, where it provides you those capabilities, is giving you the power to control your feed and stream only what you want and ignore the rest of the fields. And the most important part here is the retention. We are giving you capabilities with DataStream where you can go back historically, do a query, and pull the data back. Data retention, it's for 24 hours. You can anytime go ahead and pull the aggregated matrices or the raw logs and carry on your operational efficiencies. So let me quickly get into the demo and show you what I mean here by real time and what the problem statement we want to solve. So, okay, so this is the landing page of DataStream. This is in beta stage. So right now, usually once it's live, you can use the configure button to configure DataStream, and then you will come to a landing page wherein we define you what your different streams are. Streams are nothing but a flow of data. It contains your log lines. And we allow you to stream two kinds of data from our system. One is raw log and aggregated matrices. So you can define multiple streams based on your needs. And then you can define whether I want to keep the stream on or off based on instance-based request as how you want to stream it. And then you have something as what is that you want to monitor, the host names, and a couple of more functionalities out there. So let me take you through a live session here. So let me create a stream, and I say that edge demo. I want to monitor datastream.akamaiu.com. It's an internal hosted website for us. And I want to stream the raw logs. Now, this section you're defining what is that you want to monitor. And in this section you're defining where you want to send the data. So it's a push model right now, which I'm demonstrating here. You can go ahead and define the destination. So let me call this as edge. And in the drop-down, you can push the logs to Splunk or Sumo Logic or NetStorage or S3, where you can do an historical analysis. For the sake of demo, let me just go ahead and use Sumo Logic. Let me see if I can put the URL. So all you need to do is just copy the URL and your authentication will be done. So what you have defined is I want to monitor datastream.akamai.u and I want to send the data to maybe a Sumo Logic instance. Now I move forward, whoops. Now currently these are the data sets which we provide you. It contains tons of information. So you got message exchange data where you can define what kind of protocol, what kind of IPs, request methods, the error rates and everything. So for the sake of demonstration, let me go ahead and select that. Hey, I want to stream each and everything from DataStream. I'm selecting each and every field and I want the 100% of the data. I go ahead and review and do a publish. And the moment you do a publish, the stream is turned on for you, which means now in real time the connection is established and the data is being sent to your endpoint. Let's go ahead and check let's go ahead and check what the data looks like. So the stream ID is this. I can quickly go into Sumo Logic as an example and I can say that, hey, show me the data which is coming. So you'll see that the data is being sent out in real time to Sumo Logic. Now this is all about the push model where we are pushing the data out of Akamai into tools like Splunk or Sumo Logic. How about if you want to pull the data? So we have an API for you using which you can go ahead and pull the data. It can be in an aggregated metric or the raw logs. So let's go ahead and fire the query. And I want to say that so what I'm doing here is I'm pulling the stream ID and I'm saying that, hey, for the stream ID 210, it's an API where you need to provide certain parameters as which stream do you want to pull the data from. And I want to say that, give me the data for 13th of October and maybe 16:10, which is 4:10 in UTC time zone. (16:15) and you'll have your data sets in real time available to you. Now, this is a pull model, in which you specify a time period, and the system goes and pulls the data for you because the data is retained. You can similarly go back and make some changes and say that, hey, give me the aggregated matrices for HTTPS 5XX errors. So take an example, if I made some recent deployment of my application or my configs, and I want to measure, hey, is there any 5XX errors happening? I can go ahead and do that in real time. So if you look here, I'm passing a parameter as to the API call as I want aggregation for HTTP status 5XX, and I can append this list and say, give me for 4XX2. And the system will respond you back based on your aggregation window. It says that, hey, I have some 85 or 86 errors related to 4XX and 5XX errors. Now, look at the whole connect here. Now, this aggregated matrices tell you there is something wrong. You got some 5XX and 4XX. You can go back at the raw logs and take a look. Hey, it seems that status 404, I'm having status 404 on my checkout.html, so something is wrong. It's directly impacting your customers, directly impacting your organization revenue, because one of your important pages like checkout.html is not reachable or is down. So this helps you make quick decisions, troubleshoot, monitor your applications in real time, taking all the matrices together. So this was about how do you pull the data in real time, push the data in real time and pull the data from using DataStream. Now, the most important part is, if you look at the demonstration here, I have selected tons of data. Now, this can be huge in terms of cost, because if you use tools like Splunk or Sumo Logic, these will result in GBs and MBs, and it's going to be huge. So what you can do here is you can control what you want and what you don't want. So let me just go ahead and modify this and change that. I don't want I only want to stream the client IP, the error, and maybe the bytes. The rest I'm not concerned about. I do a review and a publish. And I can go back and in real time just go ahead and modify my timestamp and say that, hey, between 4:15 to 4:18, give me all the raw logs. So in an ideal scenario, it takes a while. You should only receive, instead of seeing all the fields, you'll only receive the fields which are relevant to this particular timestamp which we have modified. So let me just try it again and see if it makes any difference. Okay. Now, as you can see, is earlier I was having tons of data, which was difficult for me to parse. Now I have only very limited data. Now you can control as what you want to extract. So all these the sections you see, they represent one request, and I have only the bytes, the client IP, and the error, which I selected in the configuration. So the point here is, we are trying to deliver you real-time insights by making this system available to you. Yeah, so let me pause and see if there are any questions around DataStream. Okay, so how many of you use Slack? Okay, so let me give you an instance which we realized very soon. While we were working on DataStream, we heard from our internal support teams, hey, there's a recent escalation alerts, and I do not know how do I really go ahead and have those instant access to the logs and really see what those errors are or what those alerts are related to. So what we have done with DataStream is come up with a Slack bot. Now, you can go ahead and leverage the Slack bot of DataStream, and you can say, hey, send me the raw logs. I can type in send me the raw logs for last 5 minutes for stream 153. And you would see that you have your logs at your Slack channel, right? And it's not only about the raw logs. You can go ahead and pull any kind of aggregated matrices. So in real time, in a collaborative approach, you can go ahead and leverage the Slack 2 with DataStream to pull any kind of aggregated matrices from the system. Okay, so that's all I have for you today from DataStream. You can find us at the booth there, and we are open for booth at the reporting and monitoring zone. We are signing up for the DataStream beta. By end of this month, we will start making it available to our customers who sign up for the beta to have an early access to this. So if you have any questions, I'm ready to take them. Yes, sir. Yes. You can go ahead and specify, the system allows you to specify multiple host names. You can go ahead and define multiple host names here. And it should allow you to do that. But yeah, 100 may be sometimes really painful to manage in one stream. We'll recommend you to break it down into multiple streams so that multiple streams are maybe 50 or maybe 10 and so on, so that becomes easy for management. But yeah, you can go ahead and add multiple host names. Yes. Retention, for beta, we want to start with 24 hours. And as we graduate further and come towards GA, we'll look forward to making it much more than 24 hours. Yeah. Sorry? So these connectors we will make it open source. These are all based on HTTPS post calls, and whatever you see here as the connectors or the Slack, we are planning to make everything as open source so that you can go ahead and reuse and build your own connector. So you don't find your list there, you can go ahead and reuse them. Sorry, what? We'll look forward to that, but we'll keep you posted on that, yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you that.
We have a receiver for the post data.
Okay. Okay.
Can we use that for DataStream?
A receiver of what?
Well, there's for the post data
Okay.
without monitoring.
Yeah.
Can we use it to receive data without monitoring?
Yes.
DataStream.
Yes. Yes, you can. You can. But honestly, this is in beta, and Cloud Monitor is much more stable product. So wouldn't recommend you go ahead and put this into production for any production stuff. We'll recommend keep it as a test or a staging environment and try out the functionality and work with us to make it much more better. Yeah. Yes, so it's in beta. The next phase for us to make it available into developer zone, developer.akamai, and also integrate with CLIs and so on. So as we build up with beta, we'll go ahead and make it available. Sorry, I didn't. It's far away.
Do we self-provision this, or do we need to ask our accountant?
You can. Right now, this is not available. We have a limited slot of beta, so you can reach out to us. We'll sign up for beta, and we can come back to you once it is available. Or we can also reach us through your account rep, and they can contact us. Either way. Okay. Thank you very much. If you have more questions, we are there, and we can catch up more. Thank you.